Hello again, kings, queens, knights, and peasants, to another Tuesday tutorial with Zapagalis. Today I am going to show you how to make a random output that remains on for however long you want. It's a pretty simple system. The key to it is using an item sorter. Now then, if you've done anything with Redstone, I'm pretty sure learning how to make a basic item sorter is the first thing you've tried. But with a few add-ons, that item sorter can be turned into a randomizer. Let me show you how. So this is a three-step process. Build an item sorter, build the randomizer, and then build the off functions. The item sorter is simple. You need 5 building blocks, 2 hoppers, a chest, a redstone comparator, redstone torch, redstone repeater, 44 items that will not go through the system. I recommend named items. I'm just going to use sticks. 3 redstone dust, and 4 of whatever item you want to use, but use a different one for each sorter. So these 9 items you will need for each item sorter. So let me grab all of those. So over here I already set up 3 of them just for quick. There's 10,000 tutorials on this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. But basically what happens when you seed these, filling all the slots except for one, and then you put the item you want it sorted in the first slot. When an extra item goes in, that power level gets strong enough. This comparator gets a strong enough power level to turn on this one back here, which turns on this repeater, turns off this torch, which turns on this hopper, which will let the item, whatever item is in that one slot, is going to be able to flow through into the chest. Now, only the item you want sorted is going to be able to go through it, so this ensures that only, in this case, stripped oak logs are the only thing capable of going through the system. So it's very simple, and as I said, 10,000 tutorials on this if you want a little more detail, but yeah. So basically, build yourself a little T-shape and then put a block there. Redstone repeater there. Torch there. Comparator there. And then 1, 2, 3 bits of dust there. Then you want your chest on the bottom. A hopper going into the chest. Now, you're going to want a temporary block. Do not put this hopper facing down or it will not work. In this case, you want them facing either out or in or whatever direction, long as they do not connect to any other hopper. So, just like that. Okay, then you want to seed your sorter by putting 41 sticks in. Make sure you fill up all these inventory slots. And then you can put your random item in there. Remember, each one of these has to have a unique item in it. So that's oak logs, stripped oak logs, spruce, and stripped spruce. You notice those extra ones end up in the chest down below. I'll show you what those are for in a moment. So that is the basic item sorter. As you can tell, it's super easy, super fast. And again, there's 10,000 tutorials online, so I'm not going to do one for you. Okay, so the next step is going to be the randomizer system. For the randomizer system, you need 32 blocks. I like to use glass. You can actually use whatever you want. A dropper. 2 solid blocks of whatever you want. Has to be a solid block. A redstone repeater, bunting, redstone torch, a redstone comparator, and about 6 buckets of water. So now you want to come over here So right underneath this chest here, put your dropper down. Well, not underneath the chest, but down and over one. Put your dropper down. Then you want to make your little funnel. So basically go 1. So basically make yourself a tunnel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. And you want to go 1 above each of these. So make sure you go 1 above your hoppers here. And then build out. Leave yourself a space. Now I'm going to put a temporary block there just to control the water flow. And then fill this with water. Alright? So what's going to happen is you're going to turn that on, and that water flow is going to allow it to come over here. Make sure you put a roof on it as well. So go all the way across, and now we have that. Now down here, we want to put a solid block there, repeater going into the solid block, another solid block there, put your on-off switch, and then your redstone torch there. You'll see exactly what that redstone torch is for in a moment. But now whenever we push this button, that torch will turn off, and that's going to shoot an item out. So that is basically all we need for this step of the process. Now all these extra blocks we have, we are going to put over in this. Okay, so the final step is the item hold and return system used to cycle items back through. Now earlier I forgot to put a comparator in the chest, but you will need one. So for each sorter you'll need 2 hoppers, 1 target block, 1 redstone dust, and a comparator. So again, this is for each item. So what we are going to do with our hopper is run one along each of these. One, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to remove that temporary block I placed there. You could use a water stream here, but I do not trust water streams, and it requires a pretty complex setup. On the bottom, put a hopper into underneath each one of these chests, all running in a line to your dropper. So what those hoppers do, when an item ends up in the chest, it'll get pulled out and sent straight back to your dropper. Now we are going to put a target block underneath each hopper and a line of redstone. This torch powers it, and in turn the redstone powers the target blocks. So now when we put an item in, the chest will hold those items until we turn off that redstone line, at which point it gets pulled out and sent back to the dropper. So that's how that system works. And now we simply, for our output, we put a comparator onto each chest. And there we go. So now when we push the button, it's going to dispense an item, which is going to go through. We don't know which item's going to come out, so it's going to randomly turn on one of those comparators. Push the button again, that comparator turns off, the item is recycled back into the system, and the new item is dispensed. Now, we have no way of knowing which item's going to come out or which one's going to turn on. And so far we've gotten the same item 3 times in a row. There we go. That came out a different item. And we can just keep doing this all we want. And that is going to stay on until the button's pressed. So this randomizes 1 of 4 possibilities for us and gives us a continuous on stream the whole time. Well, so that is how you build a random output signal. It's kind of a T flip-flop that has 1 of 4 random results. Well, so I hope you find this tutorial helpful. Well, and in one of my future Ground Crazy Craft videos, I'll be putting this system into use. But for now, thank you. Hey, do you know why the turtle crossed the road? I don't know yet. I'll ask him when he finishes. Thank you all, and keep on rocking. Knights of the Bedrock.